Hello grade 2s, it's Friday. You've been working hard on our fractions this week. I am so proud of you. We've done lots of worksheets and activities, but today you're just going to need your textbook and your workbook. And we're actually going to start in our textbook. So we're going to go back to page 56. And if you remember, we made the fractions already for these colored shapes, but we're going to do a little bit more with them. So let's go to the top here on page, is it 50? Yeah, 56. We're going to do question 3A at the top. I would like you to tell me, what is the fraction of this shape is colored? What's the fraction? Well, we start with how many pieces are colored. 3 over, how many total pieces is there? 7, so we have 3/7. Now, if I asked you for the fraction of triangles that aren't colored, what would be the fraction that aren't colored? 4, and the same number of pieces, right? 7. So 3/7 are colored and 4/7 are not colored, okay? So what would both fractions make together? If I add the colored and the non-colored, what would it make? It would make the whole shape. The colored and the uncolored together make the whole shape. So 3/7 plus my 4/7 equals, well, do you want to know what we do? We add the top, the pieces, the 3 pieces plus the 4 pieces gives us 7 over 7. You might be saying, Mrs. Johnston, what's 7/7? That means I have all 7 pieces of the 7 that make up the whole. So I have 1 whole, and I'll write a big 1 there. I'm just going to turn the camera so you can see here. Okay, so my 3/7, the colored pieces, plus the non-colored pieces equals 7 over 7, which is 1 whole. It would be the whole shape. Let's go through and let's do the next one here. We've got our triangle. Okay, 3B. What would I write for the fraction of the colored pieces? What would the fraction be for those colored pieces? What would the fraction be? Okay, we've got 5/6, right? There's 5 pieces colored out of the 6. And what's the uncolored fraction? Well, it's just 1 piece out of the 6. And if I add them together, what do they make? If I add them together, what do they make? Well, I add my 5 plus my 1 equals 6 over 6. I would have all 6 pieces of my shape, which means I have a whole, and I write a 1. That's what the number 1 is. It's the whole thing. These are parts of the whole thing, but the number 1 is the whole thing. Okay? Let's keep going through here and seeing what we can do to make our whole. Okay, so let's pick 4A here. Let's pick our green one. What's the fraction of this shape that's colored? What would the fraction be? Well, there's 4 pieces that are colored out of how many pieces is there? 9. So 4/9. And what's the fraction of the shape that isn't colored? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/9 are not colored. And if I add them together, what does that give me? What's 4 plus 5? 9, right? The colored and the non-colored would make 9/9, which equals 1 whole. Okay, do you see how that works? So the colored and the non-colored, if I add those fractions together, I get the whole thing. Do you see that? Okay, so we're going to turn over to the next page, 57, and we're going to look at question number 7. Okay, and we're going to look at this. And it tells us the fraction, the first fraction. It says 3/5 and what make one whole? What would go with that? So it gives us the fraction of the yellow, the 3/5. What would I have to add together with my 3/5 to get a whole? How many more fifths do I need? Right, I need 2 more. So 3/5 plus my 2/5 would equal 5/5, and that is my whole. Okay, so we're thinking about what do I have to add to it to get to my whole. Let's go down to B. This one I have 1/7. And what? What's the other fraction that would make one whole? So I have the whole thing. What do I add with 1/7? How many? I need the 6/7. So 1/7 plus my 6/7, 1 plus 6 gives me my 1 whole. Let's go down and do this one. I have 2/9, and how many, what's the other fraction that I need to make one whole? How many more ninths do I need? I need 7/9. So 2/9 plus 7/9 equals our 9/9, which is 1 whole. So you are going to today find what is the other fraction that I need to make the whole shape, okay? And in your workbook, that's exercise 45. And you have the picture to start with. It has the pictures. So 1/3, if I have 1/3, what else do I need? What's the other fraction that I need to make this whole thing? Okay, so you're going to go through and do those. Down here, you're going to join them up. So remember, we're adding the top number. So if I have 2/9, I have to think what plus 2 would give me that 9. 2 plus 7, so the other fraction. And that's how you'll do this page, to match them up. So you would remember the top number plus the other top number has to equal that whole shape, the total number of pieces. Okay, so you're going to do exercise 45 for today, and I hope you have a great weekend.